the words, the laughter, the fun of Mr. Steve Goodman. I know, as happens with so many people, that at the end of tonight's performance, your hearts will be so filled with that music, you're going to say, gosh, I wish I could take it home with me. Why doesn't he have a record available? I've got good news for you. He does. If you're sitting here in a concert hall, more than likely, that record is available immediately after the performance in the lobby. If you're in a nightclub, perhaps you might want to ask your waiter person, where's the darn record? Or, if you're in a gym, again, very likely, I'll bet the coach knows where it is. It's a wonderful record. I've heard it and loved it many, many times. But why take my word for it? Hell, I'm a comedian, not a singer. Let's ask some people who are actually really performing artists. People like Jimmy Buffett and Bonnie Raitt.
Is he paying you anything to do this?
He said he would. He said he'd meet me later. Well, it's hard to tell whether it's Steve.
No, I want to know how much, because he offered me. I want to know what he offered.
I told him to call my agent is what I did.
People like Jackson Brown.
Steve Goodman. Who's that?
I knew Steve Goodman when he was a tall woman.
People like Carl Reiner.
Hold it. Hold this sound out there.
They're shooting.
Shooting in here. Steve Goodman was the first Muppet to make it on his own.
People like Jacqueline Onassis. No? Okay.
A lot can happen in 3 years. Steve Goodman used to open my show for me when I was on the road. Now I'm a big movie star, and Steve is now headlining at this dump.
Well, there you have it. They said it better than I could. And I know what you're probably thinking. You're thinking Martin's only doing this because he's got a piece of the action. Don't be silly. If you think 48 cents an album is a piece of the action, 52 in Canada, you're crazy. I'm doing this because I love Steve's music and always have. In fact, hey, let's quit talking here and let's get him on stage. Let's go get Steve right now and get him out there to perform. See you later.
Just be sure when you say I love you, it's a sin to tell a lie. Now millions of hearts are broken just because those words were spoken. I love you, yes I do, I love you. If you break my heart, I'll cry. So be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell a lie. I love you, and if you break my heart, I'll cry. So be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell a lie. It's a sin to tell a lie. Thank you, folks. I hadn't played that in a while. Sort of stumped the band here. Have a song for a post-nuclear family. Ma, Pa, sister, and brother, and little Joe, the human hot plate. Little Joey, standing outside the shelter watching everything happen. They pulled him in too late. This song is called Watching Joey Glow. Down here in the shelter, we got everything we need. Mom put up her peach preserves, Pa's got a book to read. The sister knit some bandages, and we turned the lights down low and played some Scrabble, watching Joey glow. At breakfast, Mom hands Joe some bread, and he turns it into toast. Last night he hugged the leg of lamb. Soon we had a roast. You ought to see him heat the coffee up when he stirs it with his toe. And it makes us hungry, watching Joey glow. You have to wear dark glasses if you stare at him a while, or he'll fry your little eyes out with his incandescent smile. At Christmas time, it felt so strange, but it was great to see the way we decorated Joe as if he was our tree. His star was shining brightly underneath the mistletoe, and we blew him kisses, watching Joey glow. This is the tender part. I hope the world's not over for my sake and for his. I'd love for everyone to know how brilliant Joey is. We've been down here for 6 months now, and we're proud to be alive. We owe it to America to sit here and survive. So we listen for the static on the shortwave radio and count the shock waves, watching Joey glow. Get all the normal songs at gigs like this. That song's called A Letter to the Penthouse Forum. Somebody likes that magazine down there. Bob Guccione, ladies and gentlemen. All right. What great tuning. Okay. Dear Penthouse, I never believed anything I ever read in this magazine until just the other night. When something happened to me that was so strange, I felt compelled to share it with your readers. I'm a student at State U, and I'm getting ahead of myself. It was 1 year ago that my roommate, stupendous dork, and I were sitting around the dorm, popping a few Frosties and burning some rope, and boning up for our speech therapy midterm examination by reading back issues of your magazine out loud to each other. I looked at Stu and he looked at me, and we both knew neither of us was going to get a really good grade on that exam anyway. So we went across the street to Herbie's Tumble Inn, which was right across the street from the dorm there. Came through the swinging doors, and there they were sitting at the bar, these two luscious babes. And they were Siamese twins. Well, I looked at Stu, and he looked at me, and we looked at them, and they looked at us. And then one of the twins said, "Won't you join us?" I just laughed, and we went and sat down at the bar. Turns out one of them was a speech therapy major, and the other twin said she had some more rope there in her purse. And I got this big light bulb went off in my head, and I said, what the heck, why don't we all go back to the dorm? Came out of Herbie's and into the street, and there they were, these 30 bikers with the jackets that said Harley Aristocrats on the back. They were followed by an aerobic dance class and the head of the campus ROTC pushing a Nautilus machine right down the double yellow line in the middle of the street. I said, what the heck, why don't we all go back to the dorm? The last thing I remember is one of the twins screaming, "Oh, General, give me your big heat-seeking missile." I got my degree in spite of failing speech therapy that quarter. And last night, for the first time in a year, my roommate Stupenda Stork and I went back to Herbie's to toast our commencement. Came through the swinging doors, and there they were, the same two Siamese twins. I just said, oh no. Went and sat down at a table. The twins came over, and the one that was a speech therapy major said, "Excuse me, you probably don't remember us." Name and address withheld by request. Well, let's see. When they fade out, they fade out. This is our latest effort here. I wrote this with Mike Smith, who's a really good songwriter. We dedicate this song to Ted Turner and the Turner Broadcast System and their amazing ads. Fell asleep last night with the TV on. Oh, what a dream I had. Dreamed I went and answered every single one of those late night mail order ads. And 4 to 6 weeks later, much to my surprise, the mailman came to my front door, and I couldn't believe my eyes when he brought the Vegematic and the pocket fisherman too. Illuminated, illustrated history of life, boxcar Willie with a Ginsu knife, a bamboo steamer, and a garden weasel too, and a tie-dye day-glow souvenir shirt from Six Flags over Burbank. Well, the doorbell rang all morning, all through the afternoon, and I shook with fright as it rang all night by the light of the MasterCard moon. There was parcel post in the pantry, Federal Express in the hall, COD to the ceiling, and I just couldn't pay for it all. I got an egg scrambler and a seal of meal carrying case, a set of presidential commemorative plates so I can eat my eggs off the president's face, a minute mender and a needle that'll knit or crochet, and an autographed photograph of Rin Tin Tin at Six Flags over Compton. I remembered I was dreaming, so I gave a mighty cheer. When I awoke, it was no joke, 'cause all that shit was here. So if you fall asleep with the TV on, well, let me tell you what to do. Brother, better tear that telephone right out of the wall, unless you want it to happen to you. You get the Vegematic and the pocket fisherman too. Illuminated, illustrated history of life, boxcar Willie with a Ginsu knife, bamboo stick, and a garden weasel too, and a 30-acre parcel near the freeway ramp at Six Flags over Burbank. three-legged man. God. Well, okay. That's 2 in D and 1 in E. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll play that one in a second. Three-legged man. I haven't played that in so long. I have to see if I know it. Shel Silverstein wrote this song. Well, friends, you'd never guess it, so I might as well confess it. I just met the sweetest woman of my long dismal life. But a friend of mine says, buddy, in case your mind is muddy, don't you know that girl you're talking to is Pegleg Johnson's wife? That man is big and ugly and mean and grim. He's gonna kick your ass with his artificial limb. Next morning bright and early, ran off with Pegleg's girlie and also took his wooden leg just to play it safe. But there wasn't any time for laughter. He started hopping after, and I keep on running faster, but he won't give up the chase. I'm running around the mountain with his bride, and I got his damn old leg here by my side. I'm a three-legged man with a two-legged woman, being chased around the country by a one-legged fool. He's a hopping and a flopping, shows no sign of stopping, and I tell you boys, this life is hard and cruel. Mountains to the valleys, cross those dark Chicago alleys, from the Rocky Mountain water to the hills of Caroline, up and down the Allegheny, in and out of Pennsylvania. Every time I turn around, he's just 1 foot behind. I know he's getting tired and wet and sick, but in spite of all his trouble, he can't kick. I'm a three-legged man with a two-legged woman, being chased around the country by a one-legged fool. He's a hopping, flopping, shows no sign of stopping, and I tell you boys, this life is hard and cruel. He must be ragged and filthy by now, feeling sort of guilty ever since that morning last week when I heard him plead and beg. He said, in spite of all your stealing, I won't bear you any hard feelings. I know Margie doesn't love me, but give me back my leg. 'Cause although the leg you meant to take was wooden, in the dark there by mistake, you took the good one. I'm a three-legged man with a two-legged woman, being chased around the country by a one-legged fool. Flopping, shows no sign of stopping. Tell you boys this life, tell you boys this life, tell you boys this life is hard and cruel. Here's a song for anyone that's ever broken up with somebody and you meet that person again a few years later in the middle of what should have been a good day. It's a long time since I saw you last. Tell me how you been. Did you ever get to buy that yellow coat? Do the flowers in that window box still smile when you come in? Did you ever read the letters that I wrote? I've been out of town since Christmas, but it doesn't seem so long. Outside of that, there isn't much to say. I cut out all that drinking and I wrote another song. I wish you wouldn't look at me that way. Used to be some mornings we'd go walking round the park. All the nights we babysat for Billy's kids. All those times we used to talk about having one ourselves. Now I can't remember why we never did. Do your neighbors still complain when the music gets too loud? Is that old cat still sleep up on the bed? Do you still walk around with your head in the clouds? Haven't heard a single thing I said. Well, it's a 2-day drive to New York. I guess I better go. Did you notice how the weather's turning cold? It's a long time since I saw you last. Tell me how you've been. Did you ever get to buy that yellow coat? Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. This is a song for anyone who's ever misjudged how much tequila they can actually hold. Sort of like an Anison commercial, this sound. How much tequila did I drink last night? It's really anybody's guess. They poured them so fast I couldn't keep them in the glass, but this morning I sure am a mess. My head is 4 or 5 times its normal size, and I got this big old cactus stuck between my eyes. I can't recall a single thing I did or said, or the names of all these people sleeping in this bed. Tell me how, tell me how, Tell me how, tell me how, tell me how much tequila did I drink last night? How did I get these cuts and bruises all over my body? I must have fallen down somehow. I think it had something to do with karate. Well, it's all coming back to me now. Standing at the bar with King Kong's cousin, he must have been 7'3". His elbow gave me a bump, and so I said, "Hey, chump, would you like to step outside with me?" Tell me how, tell me how, tell me how, tell me how, tell me how much tequila did I drink last night? My mouth is full of cotton and my brain is sore. I left last night's dinner on this morning's floor. My belly is swollen and my eyeballs shrunk. I drank so much that my hair got drunk. I seen a big old worm about 10 feet long, and I'm hallucinating purple cows. Somebody moved the furniture while I was gone. Uh-oh, this is not my house. I could call us a taxi on the telephone if I only knew where we are. I guess I'm gonna have to jet myself back home just as soon as I can find my car. Tell me how, 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 tell me how much tequila did I drink last night? Sure. Well, here's a song for the Chicago Cubs. I see a man with his hat on here. Harry Carey. He used to broadcast St. Louis, and then the White Sox, and now he's got the Cubs. Oh, wouldn't it be great to have a cold Falstaff? No. That's Harry. Harry puts the accent on the first syllable of every sentence. You know, it doesn't matter. He struck him out. Oh, for the long one. He always has these monosyllabic words at the beginnings of sentences. And right about the 8th inning, after he's done 16 Falstaff ads, well, that was for the Sox. I guess he's got Schlitz now to do for the Cubs or whatever. He gets magical right about the 8th inning because he pops one with every ad. See? Yes, that's right, friends. And by the time they get near the end of the game, he's ready to fly. And his home run calls, they're great too. Might be, could be, is. Harry, what a guy. The guy they had before him was Jack Brickhouse. You people are spoiled out here with Vin Scully. You had Don Drysdale for a while, too. Yeah. He went to the White Sox. Yeah. If you want to know anything about baseball broadcasting, you can meet me out in the lobby after the show. Maybe I'll go back and play the rest of the set now. This is Steve, speaking of sports, right? Got our own radio interview show here. Jack Brickhouse was great. I mean, he'd make some fabulous bloopers. Now, these are magic. Brickhouse would say stuff like, ball, strike, no, ball, strike, ball. And he'd be sitting in Wrigley Field and he'd say, that's amazing. The last time that happened was when Atlanta played Houston here. Classic Jack. He's a wonderful guy, though. Really is. So anyhow, he's a diehard Cub fan, and the Cubs lost today, extended their record to 6-15. Isn't that amazing? They also managed to have Ferguson Jenkins leave the game with a sore arm. Their one good starting pitcher. He's undoubtedly out for the year, right? How encouraging. So this song is called The Dying Cub Fan's Last Request. By the shores of old Lake Michigan, where the hawk wind blows so cold, an old Cub fan lay dying in his midnight hour that tolled. All around his bed his friends had gathered. They knew his time was short. On his head they put a bright blue cap from his all-time favorite sport. He told him, "It's late, getting dark in here, and I know it's time to go. Oh, but before I leave the lineup, there's just one thing I'd like to know. Do they still play the blues in Chicago when baseball season rolls around? When the snow melts away, do the Cubbies still play in their ivy-covered burial ground? When I was a boy, they were my pride and joy, but now they only bring fatigue to the home of the brave, the land of the free, and the doormat of the National League." He told his friends, "You know the law of averages says that anything will happen that can. But the last time the Cubs won a National League pennant was the same year we dropped the bomb on Japan. The Cubs made me a criminal. That's what they did. They stole my youth from me. I'd forsake my teachers to go sit in the bleachers in flagrant truancy. And one thing led to another, and soon I discovered alcohol, gambling, dope, football, lacrosse, hockey, but what do you expect? When you raise up a young boy's hopes and then just crush them like so many paper beer cups, year after year after year, after year after year after year after year, till those hopes are just so much popcorn for the pigeons beneath the L tracks to eat." And he said, "I'll never see Wrigley Field anymore before my eternal rest." So if you have your pencils and your scorecards ready, then I'll give you my last request. He said, "Throw me a doubleheader funeral in Wrigley Field on some sunny weekend day, no lights. Have the organ play the national anthem, and then a little na-na-na-na, hey-hey-hey, goodbye. Get 6 bullpen pitchers to carry my coffin, and 6 groundskeepers to clear my path. Have the umpires bark me out at every base in all their holy wrath. Have the Cubbies run right out into the middle of the field. Have Keith Moreland drop a routine fly. Give everybody 2 bags of peanuts and a frosty malt, and I'll be ready to die. Build a big fire on home plate out of Louisville Slugger baseball bats, and toss my coffin in. And let my ashes blow into beautiful snow from the prevailing 30-mile-an-hour southwest wind. And as my last remains go flying over the left field wall, we'll bid the bleacher bums adieu. Hey, Ernie. And I'll come to my final resting place out on Waveland Avenue." Now the dying man's friends told him to cut it out. They said, "Stop it, it's an awful shame." He said, "Don't cry, we'll meet by and by near that heavenly Hall of Fame." He said, "I've got season's tickets to watch the Angels now, so that's just what I'm gonna do." And then he said, "You the living, you're stuck here with the Cubs, so it's me that feels sorry for you. And then he said, oh, play that Lonesome Losers tune. That's the one I like the best. He closed his eyes and he slipped away. Well, it was the Dying Cuff Band's last request, so here it is. Do they still play the blues in Chicago when baseball season rolls around? When the snow melts away, do the Cubbies still play in their ivy-covered burial ground? When I was a boy, they were my pride and joy, but now they only bring fatigue to the home of the brave, the land of the free, and the torment of the National League. Thank you, folks. I'd like to bring a friend out to help me play a few songs. There you go. You already have one. This is Jim Rothermel from Marshall, California. And this is the mandola. They have these for sale out there. But this isn't an autograph model. Although sometimes it feels like it has a Yogi Berra neck. I learned to play this not long ago. And it's the bottom four strings of the guitar backwards and then down a fifth. Be easy to follow for those of you with dyslexia. And this song is dedicated to Jethro Burns, the terrific mandolin player. And if he were here tonight. I don't think the Chieftains are going to retire because we did that. But we have one more on the mandola. This is a Sea of Love right now. This is for a boy who meets a girl by the Seal Beach Pier. Seal of Love? Good. Now there's a little piece of the pier out at the end, and I was thinking maybe we could start boat tours out to the tip of the pier. That might work. And the song is called California Promises. Neath the moonlit sky, the shadows walk beside the water. The sad goodbye whispered on the shore. Hear those wind chimes play, they serenade the shadow lover. They ring and fade away like California promises. I will never love another. Wait for me till I return. Though she never will, he waits for her beside the water, faithful still to California promises. Faithful still to California promises. Well, we have one more beach song. We should probably try and play this right. That's not near the beach. This is Oak Street Beach. They could play this in the Oak Street Beach. They don't have any sand in the Oak Street Beach in Chicago. It's all concrete. It's true. This song was dedicated to the Oak Street Beach. If we can get this song to the Beach Boys, they can put it on their James Watt album, their memorial. The song is called Don't Get Sand in It. Jimmy. Don't you get sand in it. I don't want to feel no sand in it. Don't want no other members of the band in it. Sure don't want to feel no sand in it. When you're sitting down by the ocean, on a blanket with the suntan lotion, don't you go getting no. don't you get sand in it. I don't wanna find a baby grand in it. Don't wanna find no other contraband in it. Sure don't wanna feel no sand in it. Don't you know that it'd be a pity if you get your little nitty gritty? Don't you go getting no. Don't you go getting no sand in it. Don't you go getting no sand in it. Don't you go getting no sand in it. Sand in it. Don't you go getting no sand in it. Don't you go getting no sand in it. Don't you go getting no sand in it. Sand in it. Sand in it. Don't you get sand in it. I don't wanna feel no sand in it. Don't want no other members of the band in it. Don't wanna find no other contraband in it. When you're sitting down by the ocean on a blanket with the suntan lotion, don't you go getting, well, don't you go getting no, well, don't you go getting no, oh, don't you go getting no. That stumped the band. All right, let's see. It's in D. Then there's a section in F. Good luck. One more night in a transatlantic city. Clocks all run on someone else's time, and the streets run so close to houses, none of them run into mine. The people are all in the whiskey's just as cheap as it is. Skyline looks just like that postcard I sent you. Darling, I wish you were here. Some folks travel for pleasure. Some folks are just born to roll. Folks can't take the pressure. Some folks never come home. I only go where I have to go, and I only come home when I'm done. And if everything's right, I'll be home Friday night, 6 hours ahead of the sun. One more night in the transatlantic city. Buy one round for everyone inside. Order up the same old pint of trouble. Trouble just don't taste the same tonight. Local bartender tells the same story. Local lovelies dance before you ride. Call that that dance old Younger's tarting. I can't get all this mud out of my eye. Some folks drink when, and some folks drink when they're dry. Some folks drink so they won't have to think. Some folks drink until they die. Drinking just gives me amnesia. The devil has a list of those who run. Run when place to show and no place to go. 6 hours ahead of the sun. Run when place and show and no place to go. And 6 hours ahead of the sun. Cockroaches. Wait a minute. We'll play the Dutchman in a second. Harry Waller wrote this song, this next song. Harry Waller. Special good guy. Yeah. This song is called Cockroaches on Parade. Or La Cucarachas, as we call them out here. Now that it's cold, with winds outside, they need a nice, warm place to hide. The cabinet behind the door, the furniture beneath the floor. They take a lap around the bath, they take a drink out of your sink. And when you go and turn your back, they like to sneak a little snack. Black flag, decon, indoor spray, fumigators by the score. Stomp them, squash them, hammer them with raid, they come back for more. And in the darkest hour, just before the dawn, you can hear them singing some old love song. They wipe their feet on your lunch meat, they stick their hands into your can, scraps into their laps, and then they dine with a bottle of wine. Earlier tonight you hurried up to go on your big date. In your haste you left behind a lot of dirty knives and forks and plates. So while you sit here listening to this stupid song, on your kitchen table there's a party going on. And when you get home late tonight, open your door, turn on the light, and you will see your wallpaper change. Those are cockroaches on parade. Well, here's the Dutchman. This is a song that Mike Smith wrote 15 years ago. About two old people that live in Holland. Dutchman's not the kind of man who keeps his thumb jammed in the dam, holds his dreams in. That's a secret only Margaret knows. When Amsterdam is golden in the summer, Margaret brings him breakfast and she believes in. He thinks tulips bloom beneath the snow. He's mad as he could be, but Margaret only sees that sometimes. Sometimes she sees her unborn children in his eyes. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuider Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Now the Dutchman still wears wooden shoes. His cap and coat are patched with the love that Margaret sewed there. Sometimes he thinks he's still in Rotterdam. He watches tugboats down canals, calls out to them when he thinks he knows the captain. Margaret comes to take him home again through the unforgiving streets that trip him though she holds his arm. Sometimes he thinks he's alone, calls her name. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuider Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Winter whirls the windmills round. She winds his muffler tighter. They sit in the kitchen. Some tea with whiskey keeps away the dew. Then he sees her for a moment and he calls her name. She makes the bed up singing some old love song. She learned it when the song was very new. He hums a line or two. They hum together in the dark. The Dutchman falls asleep and Margaret blows the candles out. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuider Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuider Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Well, we've got a song for Elvis Imitators here, and Jim plays a tenor on this. Well, I walk up to the mic and then I shake my hip, take take a deep breath and put a snare on my lip. See me on the street, you wouldn't know my name, but imitating Elvis is my claim to fame. So when they put my imitation name in lights, there'll be imitation good at rockin' the night. 'Cause I'm an Elvis imitator and I just can't stop imitating Elvis from the bottom to the top. Imitate the way you walk, the way you smile. Throw away my scarf and make the crowd go wild. Imitation Elvis may not be the king, but baby, it's the next best thing. Sang leave Las Vegas and the GI Blues. Won't you love me tender in my blue suede shoes? Let me be your teddy bear 'cause you're too much. Baby, please surrender 'cause I need your touch. Well, if you're feeling lonely, need a place to dwell, come on down to Imitation Heartbreak Hotel. Gone rock, 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 rock. In my golden make cape and my sequin suit, pompadoo haircut and my high heel boot. Imitating Elvis is the only way I can make it through my imitation day. Oh, this rockin' music can't be denied. I was imitating him before he died. I'm an Elvis imitator, just can't stop imitating Elvis. I can imitate the way you walk, the way you smile, throw away my scarf and make the crowd go wild. The imitation Elvis may not be the king, but baby, it's the next best thing. I'm a baby, I'm the next best thing. So right after this one, I think the ringers are still there. Okay. If this gets too organized, let me know, okay? Hey everybody, wherever you are, they got a new way of talking and it's gonna go far. Take the letters and the words, turn them all around, say the last one first, and check out the sound. Talk backwards. I know what you're thinking. It sure sounds strange. You talk forward so long that it's hard to change, but it's just like metric once you get the drift. Twist your tongue and give your palate a lift. You take your favorite phrase, read it in the mirror, practice that in about a half a year, and then straw cab gani clat me em to cool. You're a regular talking bass backwards fool. Talk backwards. And the other night, I was walking down the street, saw someone I thought I'd like to meet. I said, "Excuse me, miss. Is there dat tat tat diggy Roy, strat see Millie Rot? Edie Roy test two tong to bet." I said, "Am I getting through to you yet?" And she said, "You're a gent in the first degree. And I love it when you talk backwards to me. Talk backwards." Talking backwards is sweeping the nation. Talking backwards a new sensation. You amaze your friends when you start to rap. Don't say pass the butter, say red-a-bet sap. If you're out with someone and you're a little shy, don't say I love you. Say you oi evil eye, and I always will. And see if it doesn't take off the chill. Talk backwards. You never can tell, but one of these nights, those who talk backwards will demand their rights, and they'll rise up angry, get a solution in the form of an amendment to the Constitution that guarantees freedom of reverse elocution. Then every TV show that airs will have to be captioned for the forward impaired. Talk backwards. Talk backwards. Talk backwards. Here we go now. Well, we got a couple of other ringers that were kind enough to come out. They're members of Emmylou Harris's band. Got Frank Reckard on the guitar here. Steve Fishell on Hawaiian guitar and dobro. Here's a little bluegrass song. I stopped at a roadhouse in Texas, a little place called Hamburger Dan. The song that was playing on the jukebox was all about a truck driving man. It poured me another cup of coffee, for it is the best in the land. And I put a nickel in the jukebox and play that truck driving man. Just brought me my coffee. I thanked her and called her again. Said, you know, that old song sure does fit me, 'cause I'm just a truck driving man. It poured me another cup of cafe con leche, 'cause it is the best in the land. And I put a nickel in the jukebox and play that truck driving man. All right. On board my old semi, and then in a flash I was gone. Got them old truck wheels moving, I'm on my way back down to San Antonio. It's pour me another cup of coffee, for it is the best in the land. And I put a nickel in the jukebox and play that truck driving man. Can play this song, I will change the string before too long. I broke the one they call an A. There's guitars all over this place, they say, but I'd rather play my own if that's alright. I'll change the string before tomorrow night. Bag of strings here on the chair, and I can find the A somewhere. It was here the last time that I looked. If it's gone, I know my goose is cooked. These fellas, they play with Emmy Lou. I'll bet she doesn't treat you like I do. Make you stand up here and vamp all night, till I get the old A string wound up tight. I better let the band take a verse. Tune in is the mummy's curse. Wind the string and wind it good, and finish this song just like I should. I know I'm beginning to rant and rave. I'm standing up here playing at McCabes. I know you think that it's all wet, but I swear this is the first one that I broke this set. Pour me another cup of coffee. It is the best in the land. And I put a nickel in the jukebox and play that truck driving man. Play it, Jimmy. cup of coffee, for it is the best in the land. And I'll put an A string on the guitar and play that truck driving man, and play that truck driving man. Break another one, yes. Yeah. I'm afraid. Here in the quiet, intimate setting of McCabes when the instrument falls. First time in 4 sets, though. I was beginning to wonder when it was... Well, here's a song I made up in 1970. And it deserves to be in tune here, let's say. Riding on the city of New Orleans, Illinois Central, Monday morning rain. 15 cars and 15 restless riders, 3 conductors and 25 saxophone. Out on a southbound Odyssey, the train pulls out of Kankakee and it rolls past houses and farms and fields, passing towns that have no name, freight yards full of old black men in the graveyard of the rusted automobile. Sang good morning America, how are you? Don't you know me, I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans, and I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. And I was dealing cards with the old men in the club car, penny a point, no one's keeping score. Pass that paper bag that holds a bottle, you can feel the wheels grumbling beneath the floor. Sons of Pullman porters and the sons of engineers ride their daddy's magic carpet made of steam. Mothers with the babes asleep go rocking to the gentle beat. The rhythm of the rails is all they dream. Sang good morning America, how are you? Don't you know me, I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans, and I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Nighttime on the city of New Orleans, we're changing cars in Memphis, Tennessee. and it's halfway home. We'll be there by morning. Through the Mississippi darkness roll into the sea. But all the sounds and people seem to fade into a bad dream. Steel rail still ain't heard the news. The conductor sings that song again. It's passengers, please refrain. This train has got the disappearing railroad blues. Sang good night, America, how are you? Don't you know me, I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when day is done. Just a singing good night, America, how are you? Don't you know me, I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone a long, long time when day is done. Well, listen, I had a great weekend here, and I appreciate you all coming. I want to thank the Riders in the Sky for tearing them up. They played great. Thank Jim Rothermel and Steve Fishell, Frank Reckard. This is our traditional closing number, which John Prine and I tried to put into one song everything that had ever been in any of the country songs we'd ever heard. The move of drunken people, to be sure. David Allan Coe actually recorded this song, so with thanks to him and to you, here it is. It was all I could do to keep from crying. Sometimes it seems so useless to remain. Always tried to change me. And that is why I will always stay the same. But I'll hang around as long as you let me. I never minded standing in the rain. You don't have to call me darling, darling, but you never even call me by my name. I've seen my name a few times in the phone book. And on the neon sign above the bar I used to own. There's only one thing that I'm sure of. I'm going to hear it when my Savior calls me home. We left out farms, prison, trains, trucks, mother, Christmas, dead dogs like old Shep, and getting drunk. I don't know why we left out Mother Prison Farms, trucks and trains and Christmas and getting drunk and dead dogs like Old Shep and Farms. But we did, and now we have to sing the last verse. In G. Ever since the dog got drunk and died, and Mama went to prison, why nothing around this farm has been the same. And you know, when Mom broke out last Christmas, she drove the damn old getaway laundry truck right into a train. But I'm gonna hang around long as you will let me, and I never minded standing in the rain. You don't have to call me darling, but you never even call me by my name. Appreciate it, folks. Thank you so much. The intro's in G and the song's in A. Within my heart lies a melody, a song of old San Antone. Within dreams I walk with memory, beneath the stars all alone. It's there I found behind the Alamo, enchantment strange as a blue up above. Now a moonlit path, only she would know. Here's my broken song of love. Moon in all your splendor, no only my heart. Call back my rose, rose of San Antone. Lips so sweet and tender, like meadows falling apart. Speak once again of my love, my own broken song of love. Empty words I know still live in my heart all alone. That moonlit path by the Alamo, and rose, my rose of San Antone. in all your splendor. Rose in my heart, call back my rose, rose of San Antonio. Lips so sweet and tender, like petals falling apart. Speak once again of my love, my own broken song of love. Empty words I know still live in my heart all alone. That moonlit path by the Alamo, and rose, my rose of San Antonio. We're gonna owe you those. We got one last Mama Don't Allow No Music playing in here on us. Thank you very much. Hope to see you again sometime. Now Mama don't allow no music played up here. She don't allow no music played up here. This jam session is the last. We decided to play it fast, and Mama don't allow no music played up here. Now Mama don't allow no dobro played up here. She don't allow no dobro played up here. Dobro playing, Steve is fine. Now we just gotta keep some time. Mama don't allow no dobro played up here. No acoustic guitar. You don't allow no guitar played up here. We have to Frank for letting us borrow Frank. Mama don't allow no guitar played up here. Fiddle played up here. She don't allow no fiddle played up here. We don't care what she don't allow. What they gonna play to anyhow? My mama don't allow no fiddle played up here. No flute played up here. No flute played up here. Put up all his flute four sets, and we haven't heard any flute playing yet. So Mama don't allow no flute played up here.